What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Shusui, and today we are back with another video. And today I'm bringing y'all the top 10 defenders in One Piece Bounty Rush. Let's get into it. Alright, y'all, for my number one, I have Saturn. I feel like unless you have the proper counters for Saturn is so difficult to kill. You need a Zoro or you need Akuma and Bonnie. And not only is he just unkillable, but he wastes so much time trying to take him down as just a normal character. Even as a Kizaru, as a Gear 5, as a Kuzan, it doesn't matter. You just feel like you're wasting so much time, and you only have 3 minutes. So within 3 minutes, that time goes by real fast, and a minute and 30 seconds can go by just fighting Saturn. And you wasted so many skills, you wasted time to go get other flags, to kill other people on flags. I feel like Saturn is what a defender should be. It wastes your time, he's hard to kill, unless you have the proper counters, of course, but all around, he is one extremely OP defender. Alright, now for my number 2, I have S-Snake. I feel like S-Snake is slightly more OP than Kuzan. I feel like S-Snake is just a auto-clicking hell. All she does is auto-click. Whoever's behind that little computer, bam, 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 all they do is auto-click, and I hate it. It's so annoying. But all around though, she is a good defender. Can't deny that. I'm not exactly sure who her counters are, but I know she's good. I know she's hard to kill. She does her job as a defender, and if you have her and you know how to spam the left click button or square, she's a great defender. Her skills are good. She's really hard to bring down, but all around, W defender, really like her. Honestly, if you have her, use her. Alright, for my number 3, I have Kuzan. If y'all can't tell, by the way, I don't have any of these people, and it really annoys me. But for number 3, I feel like Kuzan is a great fit. I love his ice ball attack. I feel like he has good traits. I feel like he all around is a great defender. He has his counters. He has the people he's strong against. All around, I feel like Kuzan realistically is a pretty balanced defender. Sometimes I feel like his freeze effect freezes a little too long. But what can I say? I mean, Kizarus and Gear 5 Luffy's are running around during the game. But all around, I really enjoy this character, and if I had to choose one out of the top 3 so far to like personally use just out of personal enjoyment, it would probably be Kuzan. He might not be top 1 or top 2, but out of personal enjoyment, I love Kuzan. I think his character's great. He definitely gets the job done. He can also change to attacker, which makes him really nice. Yeah, I mean, there's not really much more to say. Great defender, really like him. If you have him, use him. Alright, y'all, for my number 4, which may come to a surprise to a couple people, I have Zephyr. I feel like he is an extremely balanced defender. He actually counters Kizaru, and the buffs I gave him to make, I believe, his skill 2 go as like all match instead of just one time a match makes him so much more efficient and so much better to use. When I say I think he's perfectly balanced, I think he's perfectly balanced. Yeah, his skill 2 range is kind of wild, but at the same time, he needed a good buff, and they gave him a good buff. It put him right back into the meta. And out of people who I struggle with most, which is kind of how I make these lists, Zephyr is right behind Kuzan. Because if you don't see Kuzan, S-Snake, or Saturn, you see Zephyr. And in my personal opinion, I think he's a great number 4. If you have nobody else and you have Zephyr, you are in a great spot. You can 100% grind leagues with Zephyr and get high with Zephyr. If you have him, great defender. Definitely use him. Alright, y'all, for my number 5, I have Vinsmoke Judge. All around, I have not used this character much, but I have played against him. He's very annoying, but I don't feel like he's too hard to kill. I hate his ability that he has with the girl that can come in, Sanji's sister. I forgot the name, I apologize. I hate how she can come in and hit you. It is extremely annoying, but I can't quite put him higher than Zephyr or Kuzan, because when I do see him, yeah, I do struggle, but I also kill him a lot, so I don't quite see the use of putting him higher. However, though, I really like his abilities. I really like his natural attack power. I also love his traits. I think all around he's a great defender, and if I had him a higher level, I would 100% use him more, but I think, yeah, I only have him level 85. Well, what I could get for him. So all around, I think it's a great defender. If you have him, definitely use him. He's extremely annoying, very annoying, but yeah, I think he's a great spot for my number 5. Alright, y'all, for my number 6, I have Light Element Nico Robin. This card is extremely annoying. It feels like sometimes you can't kill her Maybe that's just because of who I use. Kizaru recently with Luffy, I might be able to kill her a little bit easier, but with Kizaru, you feel like you couldn't kill her. I think all around her abilities are good. She's a great defender. Her traits are nice. When you get her to a max level 100 and at least 2 panels full with character boost and her skills maxed out, she is one hard defender to kill. And for a Bounty Fest unit, I think she's great. I don't see any other defender other than the other defenders I've gave being higher than her. When I'm in a match, if I see Nico Robin, I'm already like, oh great, this is going to be another 45 seconds of trying to kill Nico Robin. I'm not sure who her counters are, but all around, I struggle with her sometimes, especially with Kizaru. It just feels like she won't die, especially if they're good. If you're a good Nico Robin user, she is extremely annoying to use, so highly recommend Nico Robin. If you can use her, great defender. Alright y'all, for my number 7, I have the strongest creature alive, Kaido. Kaido is still an extremely relevant defender. He has good traits, good skills. He can still get that flag up to 150%, which is huge. And I have someone on my stream by the name of the GOAT Shadow who uses EX Kaido and has gotten him up to SS League in just a week by only maining Kaido. So all around, I feel like Kaido is still a very relevant defender. Definitely go out there and give him a shot if you have him. And if you don't, hopefully you have someone else on the beginning of the list. Alright, next I have Egghead Sanji. Now personally, a lot of people don't think he's necessarily in meta, and technically he's not in meta, but I think also those people would agree that he's definitely usable in League. Obviously I've used him quite a bit. I was top 173, which I mean isn't crazy or anything, but he's all around, he's still a good defender. Yes, a lot of abilities will one-shot him or darn near close one-shot him, but his skills to heal him, what would you know about the power of love, is a great ability just because of the health regeneration. So even though yes he is creeping out of meta, if not already out of meta, I feel like Sanji is still extremely relevant. His skills are really good. He's got good traits. He gets that flag up to the 150%, which is what you need with a defender nowadays. So all around, I love this card. Character, same thing. All around though, I think he is definitely usable. If you're running with like a good attacker or a good runner like Gear 5 or Kizaru, you can definitely push SS high in SS2. So if you don't got anybody else on this list and you got Sanji, don't be afraid to throw Sanji in League. Just be careful, time your dodges, and be ready to get one shot if you don't time your dodges. Because there's a lot of things that he also tends to struggle with. So just watch out with that. But all around, I think he is definitely deserving of the spot. All right, for my number 9, I'm gonna put Shusui. People might, this is really when, in my opinion, it starts to get tricky. I just think out of who I struggle with the most, I think Shusui is highly up there. She has a lot of good traits. She takes away your health and what it can get back to, which is super annoying if it's a good Shusui user. You can get her health back. I honestly really like this character. I don't see many problems with it. I think it's balanced. I think it's slowly creeping out of meta. But like I said, her ability to be able to take health away from what you can get back, her skills are good, her traits are good. All around, I think it's a very good defender. Obviously, I only could get her to level 60, so I haven't really put much into her. But if I could, I definitely would. I think she, once again, a great defender. If you have her, definitely don't be afraid to throw her in leagues and see what you can do. Alright y'all, for my number 10, I'm going to throw in Gear 5 Monkey D. Luffy. I think this is a great spot for him. I think he is, of course I think he's out of meta, but if a good level 100 with a lot of hyper boost comes in, you can obviously use Gear 5 Monkey D. Luffy. He's just out of meta. He can be a runner, an attacker, or a defender, which is great, but he's just, when you're out of meta, you're out of meta, and there's not many things that he really can do anymore in leagues. But if you have a high level Monkey D. Luffy, of course you can get high in leagues. There's no debate. It's just there's many more meta defenders now that if you're still using him and you have one of the people earlier on this list, I feel like you're just holding yourself back from what you could completely do unless you don't have them high enough of a level. But all around, I think he's a good number 10 spot. If you have him, use him. I love his skills. His skills are low. I love his skills. They're great. The Gum Barjin Gun, give me that. Come on, I definitely got that right. Is a great ability. I love it. Even though it doesn't do a ton of damage as much as I think it should do, I love the ability. It's so cool. The Gum Gun Lightning is a great stun, and then he of course has the Gum Gun Giant. So love this a bit, love this unit, love this character. If you have him, don't be afraid to use him, but just be aware he definitely is out of meta, and anybody else on this list is going to be better than him in nowadays meta, in my opinion. So yeah, all around, I think if you got him, use him. And let's get on to my final 2 honorable mentions. Alright, y'all, for my first honorable mention, I have Egghead Usopp. Obviously he's not in meta, but they're usable characters. You can throw them in league, and if you have them high and you're good with them, of course you can do good with them. But of course they're just not meta, and if you have anybody else on this list, please use those characters. But all around, for what Usopp is and what he was given, I think he's a good character. I like his skills, I like his traits. His one ability that when he shoots on the flag, the bamboo, extremely annoying because you can't get to the flag. I hate that ability. But his Skull Blast Grass, I don't see much of a use in. I don't ever feel like it does much. But the bamboo, I do indeed hate. It's incredibly annoying. So if you have nobody else on this list, but you have Egghead Usopp, maybe run an attacker or a runner. But if you want to run defender and you feel like you're never getting defenders, which I get, Egghead Usopp is another great option, so don't be afraid to use him. But all around, I think he's a good character. Yeah, on to the second honorable mention. Alright, for my second honorable mention, I'm going to give 2 people a tie. I'm going to give Whitebeard and Beppo. They're both good characters, but they're both extremely out of meta. You barely see any of them in SS League. If you're using them, I think of course you could push toward league, but obviously you're not going to get, the bet to your maximum of what you could get. But they're both good characters, decent skills, decent traits, but they're just out of meta. They're just not usable as the rest of the characters are, but they're still usable. So if you have one of these characters and you just love Whitebeard, of course go use Whitebeard. I think he's still usable, but he's going to die quickly. There's just a lot of problems with Beppo and Whitebeard in today's meta that just wouldn't go good in league. But I think if you have them and you want to try them out, shoot them in league, give it your best shot. But just remember that all of my honorable mentions aren't really in meta anymore, so don't go maxing these out. These are mainly going to be support. But any of my top 10, other than maybe 9, 10, Stussy and Luffy, I feel like all of them are still in meta. Even though I think Stussy is still in meta. Some people use her if they're good with her. But yeah, that's basically all I got for my honorable mentions. Let's get to the outro. Yeah, but yeah, that's basically all I got from the honorable mentions in the list. Alright, y'all, that's all I got today. Feel free to follow the TikTok at Truly Certified, the Twitch at Shusui, and if you're not subscribed, subscribe and like. It means the absolute world, guys. Seriously. I try to stream every day on YouTube and Twitch. But yeah, thank y'all so much for the love and support recently. Couldn't thank y'all enough. It means the world. And yeah, it's your boy Shusui signing off.